I mentioned in previous audios about how you have to kind of change and shift the way you spend your time once you have a purpose or a goal in mind. Like I said before, we only have so many hours in a day, so many days out of the week, and that's not going to change just because a situation comes up. Sometimes people want your attention regardless. And it doesn't matter whether it's negative or whatever the case may be. It could be over something silly. As long as they got your attention for those few seconds, they're satisfied. And I mentioned that before in a previous audio as well. It's imperative that you outline what your goals are. Make out a schedule. And I know people tell you this all the time, and you figure, I know what I need to do. And you probably have this routine. But the thing is, you don't realize how much time that you're actually wasting during the day until you write everything out. You think you got everything organized, but you'd be surprised once you start organizing everything how much additional time you do have to work on your dream or your purpose when before you thought you didn't have the time. The one thing that I can't stand is to see somebody always complain about how they don't have time for this and don't have time for that. But when you look at their life, they got time for all kinds of foolishness, things that don't serve them. But when it comes to something of purpose, they don't have time. Well, they're right. They don't have time to be productive. They don't have time to live a fruitful life. They don't have time to achieve any goals. They're right. They don't have any time. And that type of energy draws a certain type of energy. You got people running around here saying that they don't have time and they don't have time and they don't have time. They're going to draw people that's going to require more of their time. I always run into the person every now and again. It always comes to me talking about how stressed out and how tired they are because they just don't have enough time in the day to do the things that they need to do. Well, maybe what they need to do is sit down and just write out exactly what they're doing during the day. Because if they do it task by task and review it, they'll go over that list and they realize that they're spending either too much time on one thing or too little time on the other, or they're spending on times on things that they really don't need to include in their day. It's a matter of just blocking it out. Because like I said, there's only 24 hours in a day. That's not going to change. It's not going to change because of your situation. It's not going to change just because of your health or your money or anything else. It's not going to change. A day is a day. It has been a day before you came in this world, and it's going to be a day after you leave this world. And it's up to you to decide how you're going to spend it. Spending your time wisely is crucial, especially the older you get because you seem to value it more. But I know some young people that are extremely productive. It's all about perspective and what you're exposed to. And I know I talk a lot about the type of people you need to have around you and everything. And a lot of you may not think it's a big deal, or you just think, well, I'm going to cross that bridge when I come to it. What makes you think you'll be in a position to even handle it when it does happen, when that big thing happens? What makes you think you're going to have the resources or the time or the ability to deal with it? If you have identified the problem now, what's wrong with tackling it right now? And some of you are involved in situations and with people that have exhibited the same mess and the same patterns and the same behaviors for years. And you have done nothing about it. But you'll go to everybody within earshot talking about how stressed and tired you are. It's taking a toll on your health. It's taking a toll on your sleeping habits. It's taking a toll on how you deal with people because your attitude has changed. You're either very depressed or you're very ugly with people. Your attitude, you're just not a happy person anymore. It's wearing you down. It's zapping your energy, whether you're aware of it or not. And sitting here and faking the front like everything is okay, it actually takes more energy to pretend to be happy than it does to be happy. I'm going to say that again. It takes more energy to pretend to be happy than it does to be happy. And the only way you're going to be happy is to slowly eliminate those negative forces that have been hanging around in your life. And some of them you don't even realize that they're even negative because they've been around you for so long. I did a previous audio where I was talking about how, just because people put time into a bad situation, it makes it good. No, it doesn't. And some of y'all have been in situations for years and you know it's bad, but you think it's okay. But then you don't see the effect that it has on you either. It's wearing you down. People barely recognize you anymore. You're not the same person that you were before you got into this situation or this job or met this person. And it's not good. This is where sometimes people get to the point where it's bothering them so much they wind up having a breakdown of some sort, and then all of a sudden they just do something extreme in their life, disappear, or they wind up, changing their entire lifestyle out of, just to escape their reality that they have now. And a lot of them do that because they can't take it anymore. But see, you have control now before it gets to that point, before it gets to the breaking point. You already know that this thing has nothing, God don't like it, Jehovah don't like it, Allah don't like it. I don't care how many counselors tell you to hang in there. No, your creator does not like it because your creator already established rules against this in your scriptures. Already established rules against this, and are actually, through reading your scriptures, have already given you reasons to leave the situation alone. Justified it in scripture. But see, y'all don't want to talk about that. All you want to do is just hang in there and hang in there and hang in there and hang in there, and you see that, the word says this and the scripture says that. But see, you didn't see that other part in the scripture where it says you have a right to leave the situation. You have a right to cut off. You have a right to abandon the situation if these things occur too. See, you didn't read about the options. You didn't look at the fine print. And you have some leaders that are just pushing one part, but they're not pushing the other. You want to try to get you to hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. Some of y'all haven't slept a good night's sleep in God knows how long. Some of you are dreading sticking your key in the door every day. Some of you can't even focus on your work the way you want to. You don't have any energy. You're a shell of a person that you used to be, but you're trying to hang in there because some force or some person or some doctrine tells you to do so. But look at the effect that it has on you. Okay, yeah, some of you are saying, well, it's just right now. Okay, it's just right now. But see, you said that 3 years ago when the same situation was going on. You said that 4 years ago when the same situation was going on. You said that 10 years ago when the same situation that was going on. Okay, so it's just right now, it's just right now, it's just right now, and it's years later. When is right now going to end? Some of you need to put your foot down. And some of you keep running into the same problem with the same job, same problem with the same finances, same problem with the same relative, same problem with the same partner. Over and over again, they come back to you with the same responses and the same attitudes, and you should already know by now it's not going to change, but then you feel the urge. You act like it's a brand new situation every single time it comes up. Every time this situation comes up, every time this behavior comes up, you act like it's a brand new thing and you act brand new. You're arguing and fussing. You're still trying to push your point. You're still trying to make them understand. You're still trying to outline how wrong it is. And it keeps happening over and over and over again. After all this time, you should already know that's what usually happens. And for those of you who say, well, I'm used to it, just because you're used to something doesn't make it right. Just because you're used to a situation doesn't mean it's automatically good. There are a lot of things that we're used to in this world that are horrible. We're used to it, but that doesn't mean it's good for us. It doesn't mean we like it. So you're going to have to really be active in making some changes. And sometimes being active means saying nothing. Now, I know there's some situations where you do need to speak up, yes. And when I say nothing, I'm not saying be a doormat, because there's a lot of strength in silence sometimes. I did a video on my YouTube channel about that, about, how silence is sometimes saying something when you're being quiet, and the reason that you have to be silent, and there's a lot of power in being silent. But the reason why you need to be silent is that if you've been screaming at the top of your lungs about a certain situation in your life and there has been no results and nobody's listening, nobody's heeding, and nothing is changing, be quiet, because apparently you verbalizing is not working, boo-boo. It's not working. It's not producing any results at all. Same thing is happening over and over and over again, and you are wasting energy. So that's the time where you need to be quiet and do something. Stop going to everybody within earshot about the same story for the umpteenth time over and over again. Because after a while, them people are going to get sick and tired. A couple of people in my life that I had to get rid of recently, because every time I talk to them, it's the same thing. Same thing. And when I do talk to them, I don't even, when they even get on that, I excuse myself or change the subject, one of the two. And most of the time with these people, when they get all in their feelings about a situation, it's hard for you to change the subject anyway, so it's best for you to just go ahead and get off the phone. Say that you got something cooking on the stove, say that you got something on the computer, just excuse yourself. Just don't even invite that energy in, because see, what they want is they want you to listen to them complain about something that they have total control over and have yet to do anything about. You are not in that mindset, and you don't have time to give that up anymore. So I just wanted to put that out there this morning. Just a little bit more encouragement to you to dig your heels in. This is a constant thing where you've got to guard it, you've got to protect it, you've got to be on your toes all the time. Just saying.